In this life, we all tend to overload on automation. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's up, everybody out there? This is Ed Joy, Loud from Maui, with Quinn. Say hello, Quinn.
How's it going, guys?
Aloha to everyone out there. Yep, we're back. One more episode. I believe this is episode 9. Wow, episode 9. We're almost hitting the big 10. I love it. I love it. Do you love it? I hope you guys love it out there. If you are, just like and subscribe. You know how it works. And then we'll just keep coming at you with some entertainment and hopefully some updates and news coming from Maui to the world. And Hawaii, for that matter. Yeah? Yeah, Quinn? The whole world, right? They need to hear what Maui and Hawaii needs to say. And I like to say that, I like to think that we are part of that voice. Yeah? Or at least we're trying to be. Hey, I'd like to apologize for the last, I believe it was episode 4, where you could hear a baby yelling in the background. That was my granddaughter. I think she wants to be on the podcast. So yeah, if you guys hear like a baby or it sounded like a cat meowing in the background, that was my granddaughter. And she likes to, she's very vocal. She likes to sing. And she sings really loud. Yeah? And when she wants to eat, she's very vocal about it, very loud about it. When she wants to go and do something, yeah, she's loud and loud from Maui. Hey! I think she needs to be on this podcast. This podcast is for her. And then, I'd also like to apologize for, just me being me. I say wrong words. I was listening to myself, which sucks. I hate the sound of my voice, but I have to endure and just deal with it. But, like when I believe it was episode 6, when I was interviewing Corey, I say wrong words. Like instead of saying shed water, I said shred water. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but yeah, yeah, that's what you get when you don't go to college and no. as what was that? For real genius, that's what you get when you don't have an education. As he's talking to those framers, those framing his house. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about here. I just wanted to just bring that up. So just in case you people are just wondering what that sound was or why I said the wrong word, I'm just bringing it up right now because I was listening to it and I cringed. I just, I don't know, man. It's that embarrassing feeling, when you don't realize that you're either talking too loud or rambling on until you listen to yourself later and you go, oh my gosh, stop talking. So I should stop talking right now. All right, I'm back. I can't shut up. Not for too long. 3 seconds maybe, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Quinn, you're so quiet over there on the side, man. You're just smiling away, huh?
It's waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Got some stuff over
He's a typical surfer, canoe paddler. He's always waiting. He's waiting for that big wave. He's waiting for that one crest that's going to take him there. Yeah? Hey, today's podcast is, I'm going to talk about the then and nows. The then and nows. And, I was noticing on some of my podcasts, the earlier episodes, I noticed I tend to do certain things that influenced me as a kid that I do now on my podcast, such as when I do my intro, I always say like, what's up? Or hey, everybody. And, I always have that intro. And it was through the influence, I believe, from when I was a kid. I used to stay up late at night. And on Sunday nights, I was in the Big Island. It was about what, 1983, 1984, around that time. And on the radio, KWXX, which is still around, they used to have at, I believe it was about midnight on a Sunday night, the Dr. Demento Show. And he would open up his show with, wind up your radios, Dementoids and Dementites. This is the Dr. Demento Show, and you have an appointment. And I guess that influence since I was a kid, I loved that show. I love that show. He'd play zany music, crazy stuff, you know, and a lot of songs that was from the 60s, like she wore a teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, you know, that kind of songs. You millennials have no clue what I'm talking about. But yeah, the old Dr. Demento Show was so fun. Sunday nights. Problem is, it would come on at like midnight, and it was like an hour long. So I'd stay up till about midnight on a school night, technically, because school was on Monday the next day, and just listen to the Dr. Demento Show. And I noticed that when a lot of my intros is kind of geared to the way he used to introduce his show. And so, hey, right on, Dr. Demento Show, hey. But that was then. And what do you have now, huh? Nothing. Radio is starting to go, people. I'm kind of sad by that. You know, I was sad when Blockbuster shut down. You know, I was sad when VCRs, videotapes, and it started going into DVDs, and now DVDs is obsolete pretty much, right? I mean, you can stream any movie. You can go to Netflix, Hulu, you know. You don't have to go out to a video store and rent your movies anymore. You can just get it right offline, right? That's how it was. Yeah, now they got that red box. Boring. Oh, man, I miss going to the video stores. It was like a video library. You walk into the video store, walk around, you read the backs of all these movies, and you read, you know what the plot is and who's the actor. And I mean, it was a library for movies. And of course, they had the big old no-no room, which when I was younger, I always wanted to go into the no-no room. Lonely guys come walking out of there. The 18 and over room, you know. I remember when I was a young kid, I always asked my mom, "Hey, Mom, what's in that room?" And she's like, "Don't even think about that room. That's not a room you'd want to go into. That's the room for the devil." Hey, devil wears Prada. Anyway, yeah, you know, video stores back then, I miss them. Gotta miss the video stores. But that was then, and this is now. Yeah? And pretty soon, even libraries are going to be gone. I tell you what, they take away libraries, that's going to be a change right there. But with Google and computers and YouTube, I mean, you know, honestly, with YouTube, I am part mechanic, part refrigerator repairer, part washing machine repairer, part carpenter. I mean, YouTube is the best. You want to fix anything. I think the other day I was a detailer, learning how to smooth out the clear coat that's fading and cracked on my hood. And you know, you go on YouTube and they tell you exactly what to do, where to go, what to buy, everything. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But this is now. Back then they didn't have that. Back then they had no AC, people. You millennials nowadays, you youngsters nowadays, appreciate what you got. When you walk into Walmart and that cold air blows on your face and it's like a 98 degrees outside. You know, back in the day when I used to go to Crest or J.C. Penney or National Dollar, this is pre-Woolworths, guys. And they had no such thing as AC. They had a big vent on the top of the building with this spinny ball that would spin when all the hot air would rise out through the top of the building. And there was like fans at every register, which was not computerized, by the way. It was all manual. It was like a typewriter back then. You know, typewriters back then, it was a known thing. If you walk into an office, all you'd hear is ding. Ding. That dinging sound, people, is your cue to move that bar back to the left so you can continue typing. Nowadays, different. You don't even have to type. You can talk onto the computer and it'll type out all your words. It will actually correct your spelling. You type out something wrong and you just correct spell or correct everything. So, whiteout, no more whiteout. You don't need whiteout. In fact, back in the days, we used to use whiteout to go, you put it on the crook of your elbow, then you bend your arm, and then see whoever could handle it the longest. That sucker would burn right through your skin. 3rd-degree burns, people. Yeah, but that was then, and this is now.
No, not everybody's drinking it.
What?
Pod shots.
Oh my gosh, pod shots. Stupid. Yeah, don't do those things, people. Don't do the pod shots and all that. Yeah. Hey, even the TVs from the past to now, I remember TVs were big boxes that weighed like 400 pounds. And they had a tube inside behind the glass where if you turned off the TV and if you touched the middle of that tube, the middle of the screen, you could actually get shocked. And if you like touched a friend or like, as in my case, my brother, I would touch his leg and then touch the tube on the TV, the screen on the TV right when we turned it off. And that sucker would send a shock from my TV through my finger out into my other hand, and then whatever part of my brother I'm grabbing onto as he's trying to run away. Oh, good old days. Nowadays, you got flat screen TVs. Like, what, 30-inch flat screen TVs, 30-inch flat screen TVs that weigh, 5 pounds? You could pick one up in one hand. It's as light as a book, and it's flat as a book. I trip out. I mean, it's the things that we're doing nowadays. Our phones, I think we were talking about this the other time, how your phone is like people's lives now. Yeah, social media. Hey, most of you guys are probably listening to me on your phone right now. So if you are, this is the now, man. Thank you. This is the now. But back then, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Am I boring you people? Well, too bad, because I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on going with the then and the now. Rabbit ears. People, do you know what rabbit ears are? If you do, you're in the then. You know the then. Rabbit ears. And remember putting tinfoil on the ends of the rabbit ears just so that you could get better reception? Like that really worked? I don't think it really did, but, everybody thought it did. And then you just angle it. Wait, a little bit more to the left. Okay, right there. And then the squiggly lines go away and the picture comes out clearer than normal. Yeah. Rabbit ears for TVs do not exist anymore. You know why? Because everything is pretty much cable or satellite. Yeah? Back in the days, there was only 3 channels that dominated the TV, the network. Yeah, I believe it was CBS, NBC, ABC, and was it public? PBS. I think that was the only ones. PBS played all the Sesame Streets and Electric Company. Oh, the Electric Company was awesome. I think that was Morgan Freeman was on the Electric Company. In fact, I believe he used to play like the gorilla on the Electric Company, and he was also the Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man on Electric Company was awful. I mean, compared to nowadays, you're watching it on the big screen. It's so different from back then. But then that was then, and this is now. So that's how it was, people. That's how it was. You can watch anything nowadays, thanks to the internet, thanks to Google. You can Google anything. You can watch anything on your computer, on your phone, or on your brand new 50-inch flat screen TV that weighs about 5 pounds. I mean, you could watch anything. Back in the days, you couldn't watch stuff like on YouTube. Maybe not necessarily YouTube, but on the internet, on the Google, they got some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, they'll actually, you want to say, guy get his arm bit off by a shark, they probably got it. and they'll probably show it. You want to see a guy who falls in a crocodile pit by accident and gets chewed up by some crocodiles, they probably have it. In fact, I think they showed on YouTube, the guy who jumped into the lion's cage and then he got mauled. Or that lady who jumped out of the car at that, that park, that wildlife park, and the tiger grabbed her and dragged her into the bushes. Oh, I guess she was fighting with her. It looked like she was fighting with her significant other, or it could be her brother, who knows. But then she jumped out of the car and the tiger grabbed her, man. So you can't mess around, You can't mess around. But what I'm trying to get to? Oh, yeah. See, now you can see that things. You can watch all those things. No problem. But back then, you had to hunt for it. You had to hunt for it. They had the sacred tapes, the sacred videotapes, the Faces of Death. I think they went up to like 6 of them. I remember when I first saw the first Faces of Death, all my friends, we gathered around my friend's house whose parents were more lenient than all the other parents were. So we knew that we could hide out in his room and watch these crazy Faces of Death movies or videos and not worry about getting caught. Because you're not supposed to watch those when you're a little kid. And it wasn't like it was a XXX porn, but it was Faces of Death. It was people dying. It was videos of people dying. And I remember one of them that we watched, a guy parachuted down and ended up parachuting down into a crocodile pit. And they videotaped him as he was going down to the crocodile pit, yelling and screaming. And I remember that just shocked the crap out of me, man. That haunted me for a long, long time. Did you ever watch Faces of Death?
No, I never even heard of it.
You never even heard of that? Yeah, I know. I see you look at me smiling going, what? But you could watch anything like that on Google or internet, right?
I guarantee.
Like if you typed out guy parachutes into crocodile pit, you'd probably get about 20 of those.
Sure.
20 poor guys getting mauled by crocodiles. Hey, they had a good one where I believe it was a jaguar. I'm pretty sure it was a jaguar that grabbed a caiman, which it looks like an alligator, a caiman, but they're a little smaller. But man, I mean, still, that sucker was big. And this jaguar jumped into the water, grabbed that thing by the back of the head, and pulled it out into the bushes. I believe it was a jaguar. Yeah, it was a jaguar. Crazy stuff that nowadays you can watch anytime you want. And back then, you really couldn't. Honestly, you really couldn't. Unless someone had, like I said, the sacred tapes. Even porn. It was always that one friend that had the sacred tape. Of course, it wasn't tapes, plural. It was just tape. One tape. Used up. To the point where when you even put it in to press play, you can hear the tape rattling. Like it's all crinkly from being overplayed. To the point where even my friend would say, hey, dude, don't rewind it too much, man. Just let it play through all the way and then rewind it.
No way.
Yeah.
He actually said that.
Gary, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was the only one we had. Oh, that was funny. Anyway, I remember staying up, speaking of then and now, back then, and nowadays, you take it for granted that you can watch anything, you can see anything anytime you want. Or back then, you'd have to stay up a certain time. You'd have to endure wanting to fall asleep so bad, but no, I gotta stay up. I gotta see that show. Or even on the radio, you make a request, or you make a dedication or a shout out to someone, and you gotta stay up. You gotta listen to that radio, and sometimes it'll take an hour or two before they even say, hey, and oh, by the way, Ed Joy here wants to do a shout out to Quinn. And then I'll be on the radio like, yes, I have my cassette tape ready to go. And as soon as they did that shout out, I'll press record and play at the same time. Chink. And that sucker record that. and then you pause it. Oh, funny, because that's how I used to do it, you know? You had cassette tapes back then. And then that's how you recorded music and stuff on the radio. Funny thing is, I think the radio stations knew that, so the DJs would either talk the whole beginning of the song right up until the person starts singing, so you miss the whole intro, or they interfere towards the end. Like right before the end of the song, they'll come on like, and that was Michael Jackson Thriller. And you're like, oh, damn. So when you're doing that old ghetto recording with your cassette tape there, you always either miss the beginning of the song or the ending of the song. So when you finally hear the real tape that someone went out to Woolworths and bought, and they played the song, and they had that whole intro, and you'd be like fascinated, like, oh, so that's how the song starts off. That's how that song ends, with that little drum beat at the end. Oh, that sounds a lot better than my recording from the radio. But nowadays, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, because that was then, and this is now. But yeah, staying up late at night, waiting for that show. For us, my people out there, and I don't know too much about the Wahine knowing about this, but I know all you Kane out there, especially all you Kane out there that grew up during the 80s and early 90s. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say this. Friday nights, midnight, again midnight, on the TV, you'd have to wait for Black Belt Theater. Doom, 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 dun, 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 dun. Oh, Black Belt Theater. I'm talking Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Leroy, any Bruce you want. Black Belt Theater, man. The 5 Deadly Venoms, right? 36 Chamber, right? Master Killer, Gordon Liu. And for all you people out there who don't know who Gordon Liu is, he is that guy in Kill Bill that was, I think he was with, what's the girl's name in Kill Bill? She's supposed to be playing the Japanese.
Lucy Liu?
Lucy Liu. He was Lucy Liu's right-hand man. What you pointing at, man? Huh? My toes? My toes? Oh. He's pointing at my phone. I thought he was pointing at my toes. I know my feet are messed up. I know my feet are calloused, needing some attention from an old Chinese lady speaking Chinese. And then I can feel like I'm in a Black Belt Theater movie as she's scrubbing off these calluses off my toes. Actually, he wasn't pointing at my toes. He was pointing at my phone, which is next to my foot. Anyway, Black Belt Theater, man. You know, me and my brother, we used to dream about having our own dojo, having our own 36 chamber with students and a fish tank with fish. And you know what? We have that. So our dreams have come true. But we don't have no 36 chamber. But that's okay because, I guess we have the 37th chamber now. Yeah? But yeah, all you guys out there who knows what I'm talking about, Black Belt Theater. I used to stay up late at night, Friday nights, midnight, and it was one of those things where you looked forward to doing that, you know, and just Black Belt Theater. I saw my first Jackie Chan movie in Black Belt Theater, and Yoon Biao and Sammo Hung and all those guys, all those popular Chinese acrobatic kung fu superstars. And I can honestly say they help influence me and my brothers in our future with martial arts and learning the art that we teach now. And it's all good. It's all good. We used to train in the backyard. We had, like I said, our own 36 chamber. We'd build stilts. Oh my gosh. Me and my brother built stilts. And it was from a Jackie Chan movie. I know it was where he fought guys and he was on stilts. But we wanted to build stilts. So we built a pair of stilts with some 2x4 by, I think they were like about 9 feet tall, 10 foot 2x4x10s, about 10 foot. And about 6 feet up, we pounded in some wooden pegs, and we'd walk around. And now remember, our driveway and our garage out in the Big Island back then, up in Mountain View, was not concrete. There was no concrete. It was all asphalt. I mean, not asphalt, cinder, red cinder, no asphalt, cinder and boulders. So we'd walk around on cinder, red cinders, and then we got good enough so we could start walking around on the boulders. And then we would actually practice kicking each other and practicing kung fu stuff on these stilts, on the boulders. I think about it now and I laugh up because there's no way in hell I'll be able to do that now. Or maybe I could. Yeah, it's like riding a bike, huh? Quinn, what you think?
Let's bust them out.
Dude, I want to build a pair of stilts right now, man. Shit. I remember the stilts were so high that we couldn't step up on it because it's like about 6 feet up, the pegs. We'd have to go on the roof of my dad's Scout. We had an International Scout. We'd go on the hood. I'm sorry, not the roof, the hood of the Scout, and then step onto the pegs. That's how high the pegs were. Like they were about a good height up. And from there we'd walk around and we'd scrap at each other, try and kick each other, and chase each other around the yard on stilts. Oh my gosh. But I can honestly say that, doing those games when we were young, doing those types of things, helped build up my balance and stuff. When I got older, I had good balance, man. I was a pretty good skater, pretty good surfer. And I think it's because walking around on stilts when I was a little kid. So, hey, all you people out there training to be a skater or a surfer, walk around on stilts.
Buy some stilts, man.
Yeah, well, don't even buy it. Build it. Build it yourself.
We'll make some and we'll sell them. Get your stilts here.
Another thing that we used to stay up for to watch at night was Night Tracks. This is pre-MTV. Night Tracks was, I think it was on TBS, and they would show music videos. And one of the top music videos at the time was When Doves Cry by Prince on the Purple Rain album. And my cousin, Tanya, shout out to you, Tanya. But she used to always watch that video, Night Tracks. I remember her because when we were younger, she used to be our babysitter. She's older than all the cousins. And she used to babysit us when we were younger. And 10 o'clock, I think, Night Tracks would start. And she'd say, hey, guys, you guys got to go to bed already. It's 10 o'clock. And we'd all go act like we were going to the bed, but we'd actually be in the hallway watching her on the phone, talking to her friend, watching Night Tracks. And always that Prince video always came on first. But Night Tracks was pre-MTV, I believe. It was before MTV became popular. In fact, I think MTV came from that Night Tracks. Those types of night videos, Night Tracks. I think there was another one where they used to play music videos, but you'd have to wait till like 10 o'clock at night, and then it would come on. Yeah, that was fun. Pre-MTV days. Then of course MTV came out, and next thing you know, you're watching Wham singing "Wake Me Up Before You Go." Oh, the old MTV days was so white European. It was funny. They never played any black music until like Run DMC came out, and the hip hop nation started blossoming, and then they started bringing out more rap. And then they came out with MTV Raps, and then they flowered into the Jersey Shore guys. That was then when they used to play music videos, and Jersey Shore is now. So that's what MTV's grown up into, guys. Isn't that depressing? For me, it is anyway. Yeah, watching TV late at night until the American flag came on. And for all you people out there who knows what I'm talking about, you're probably nodding your head going, yep. And all you youngins out there, you have no clue what I'm talking about, and good. But I'm going to get to it so that you'll understand. But you'll be watching TV, and then I'd say about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, like on Friday nights when we watched Black Belt Theater, it was usually right after Black Belt Theater. The American flag would come on with the national anthem. Dun, 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 dun. And what that meant, what that signified, was all stations shutting down. And so right after the national anthem, they show the American flag. They show the Air Force, those F-16s taking off in unison. And all of a sudden, the TV would go blank. Psh, to snow. Nothing. Or barcode. Dee! That's all you'd hear is that buzzing sound. And you just see color-coded bars. That's all you'd see on the TV. All channels would knock off. And so, now we're going into our movies back then. There's a particular movie that took that and made it into a horror movie. And this horror movie is called Poltergeist. And all you people out there who know what I'm talking about here, you know what I'm talking about. When that TV ends up having that American flag come on and oh, this is the end, all networks are shutting down, you need to turn off that TV before it went to snow. Because if it went to snow, the thought of some ghosts coming through that TV and telling you, hey, we're here. You know what I'm saying? That girl turning around when that went to snow and she's sitting in front of that TV, a big boxy TV, by the way, that looks like it weighs about 600 pounds. And she's staring into that huge tube. And then she turns around and she looks at you in the camera and she's like, they're here. Oh my gosh. As a kid, that freaked me out. Just that. So me and my brothers, we'd be watching TV, and as soon as that American flag would come on the station, da, 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 we'd run to that TV and shut it off. It doesn't matter. We could be half asleep, and you'd wake up and run to that TV and turn it off before it went to snow. Because Poltergeist. Because of Poltergeist, my friends, that messed me up as a child, watching TV until the network shut off. It was a different experience. Oh, it changed everything. It's like Jaws. I know I sound scatterbrained here, but it's all going to make sense, guys. It's all going to make sense. It's like watching Jaws. You watch Jaws, and just that theme song. I heard that theme song while I was swimming in swimming pools, people. Freaked me out. As a kid, I was in a swimming pool and I thought a shark was going to attack me. Till today, I'm in my 40s? Until today, sometimes I'm swimming and I'm happy and I'm feeling good and I got to go pee and I'm like, you know what? I'm in the ocean. It's a little, the ocean's a little nippy. It's a little cold. I'm going to warm myself up. So I just urinate all over myself in the ocean. And it's warm, and I feel good, and I'm like, yeah. It's like having the AC on with my window down. Oh, it feels so good. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, no. A shark probably smelled my pee. I better get out of this water, because this pee could turn to blood.
At your age.
In my 40s, people, thank you, Steven Spielberg. That's what you've done to me. That's what you've done. Amityville Horror. Scared of houses. Cujo. I'm scared of dogs. Friday the 13th. I'm scared of hockey. But the scariest movie of them all, to me, Stephen King. Yes, Stephen King. And I'm not talking about The Shining. No. I'm not talking about Cujo, which I just mentioned earlier. No. I'm talking about Pet Sematary, people. You ever saw Pet Sematary? Every time that rig drove by that house, it makes your toes curl because someone's going to get run over. That someone's going to get smeared, someone's going to get smashed. And every time they show the little boy, it's going to be that kid. And just that thought alone grips you. That's not including the rest of the movie, like having someone you love die and then you bury him out there in a pet cemetery and he comes back as a zombie. Ho! Salem's Lot, that's another one. Salem's Lot. We're coming up on 35 minutes. So I'm sorry, but I might have to end this. No? Oh, yeah? Oh. And I was getting warmed up, people, with our movies. But you know what? When it all comes down to it, the then, the now, we're all still the same, right? We all got to drink water and eat food. But it's just the way we view things are different now. And I think it's neat coming from old school and look at the new school guys and watching people on YouTube, young kids don't know how to operate a rotary phone. Oh, that's hilarious to me. That is hilarious. And that just goes to show how old I really am. And that actually turns happiness to sadness. I gotta go. I gotta go because it's making me depressed. Why am I depressing myself, man? The then and the now, talking about old times to new times. But anyway, we're up on 36 minutes, so I gotta go anyway. Hey, next podcast, episode 10. Listen in. We got some good stuff we're gonna bring up. And I want to continue to just talk about movies, you know, because I didn't even get into drive-ins yet. Oh, drive-ins. Oh, you know what? We'll talk about that next time.
We need one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was fun. But you know what? Like I said, we're running out of time. So like and subscribe, people. And I hope you learned a little bit something about the then and now, you millennials. And all you people that are my age, you know, classmates, class of 1990. Hoop, hoop. Yeah, we're getting old. And hug your grandchildren. I know I am. Anyway, this is Ed and Quinn coming to you loud from Maui. Aloha.